Okay, hello everybody. My name is Sondee Lima. I am with weVenture. weVenture is a women's business center here in Melbourne. We're in the College of Business of FIT, and we help women entrepreneurs and small business owners launch and grow their businesses. We are partly funded by the SBA. We also help men. We help with one-on-one coaching and for everybody, and that's free. We're a nonprofit. We also have programs geared towards women entrepreneurs and small businesses, but we do serve everybody. And I had come here back in the fall of last year. Somebody spoke about AI, and Cynthia found out that I was a business coach and asked me if I would come speak one month, and I said sure, and she asked me to talk about branding and marketing a book. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. I know that there's a lot of experts in the room on how to brand and market your book, so I would like this workshop to be somewhat engaging, and I will be calling on the audience to add to what I'm presenting. You're probably going to want to take some notes, so I hope that everybody leaves with some tidbit of new information or something to help them in their branding and marketing of their book. A little bit more about weVenture. Our mission is to ignite the economic power of women. We venture to be the leading voice here. We cover the Brevard, Indian River, and St. Lucie counties. We have equity partners that help in supporting us. That's how we are able to provide workshops like this for free or free one-on-one business coaching. We do business coaching too via Zoom as well, as in our office at the College of Business. Here's some more of our equity partners. We have a lot of events, a lot of webinars, a lot of networking events. A lot of our in-person events are geared towards women. Men are invited too. You'll be surrounded by beautiful women if you go, because they're mainly women that go to our events because they're geared towards women. But if you go to our website, you can see everything that we have going on. Let me pass through there. Okay. I think it's going to, unfortunately, I think it's going to change automatically. I forgot to stop it. If it does, then I'll just figure it out as I go. So this is what I'm going to cover today. We're going to talk about branding. We're going to talk about understanding who your audience is. We're going to talk about defining your book's USP, and I'll go into that. It's your unique selling proposition or position, and then crafting compelling brand elements, implementing effective marketing strategies, and then engaging with your audience. These are the things that we're going to talk about. So introduction to branding. I do have some handouts for you. My printer, of course, wasn't working very well this morning, right? Always at the last minute. It wasn't printing well. So I spoke with Dan, and he's going to put these PDFs up on the website so you can pull them down. Because I'm going to give you some handouts or exercises that ask you questions to help figure out who your audience is, for example, or to help brand you. I'm also going to incorporate into this workshop AI. I know a lot of you use AI currently with writing your books and doing your illustrations, but I'm going to show you how to use it to come up with ideas. I'm also a writer. I taught business communications at FAU in South Florida. I taught academic writing here at FIT. I'm a nonfiction writer. I do not know how to write fiction at all. Not my thing, but I love writing nonfiction, and I am published as well. I don't have a book, but I'm published in several publications. So I'm part of you, right? All right, so branding. Why do you need a brand? Why should you brand? You want to, first of all, differentiation. There's a million books out there, and you want to set your book apart. You want your audience, your reader, to recognize you or notice you. So you want to differentiate yourself from all the other books in your genre, your category. You want to connect with your readers. You want to make that emotional connection, and you can do that through branding. Thinking about your themes, your values, and the tone of your book. And then visibility and recognition. When you have a consistent brand across all of your marketing materials, it'll increase visibility and recognition. A lot of you have a series. I'm sure there's sometimes if you've got a brand that goes throughout the series, it helps make those more cohesive and people can follow and recognize that that's your book. So I do have a handout on brand development. We're going to go over that after the next section because it relates to something else. I put it in the wrong order. So let's talk about when you're coming up with your brand, and for your book, you need to understand your audience. I work with a lot of businesses, and the one thing that many of them fail to do is figure out who their audience is. I ask them, who's your ideal client or who's your ideal customer? And they say, well, everybody, right? I cut hair. I can cut anyone's hair, right? And just like with your books, of course, everybody's going to love your book. But that's not your ideal reader or your ideal client. So I help them hone in and narrow down. The more narrow that you can get your reader, the better. Some even go as far as giving the reader a persona, giving their ideal reader or ideal client or customer a name. What do they look like, right? And so we're going to go into, let me pull up that handout. I would have just handed it to you, but in order to identify your audience, you want to ask these questions. How old is your audience? And try to start thinking about these things as for your book that you have coming out or you just published. So thinking about your reader or your audience, you want to think about their age range. Is it a children's book? If so, how old are the children? If it's a teen, how old are the teens, adults, etc.? Is it for an older generation, younger? Think about the age range, gender, location. Her book is going to appeal more to people here in the Melbourne area because it all takes place here. So that's what, not only can your reader be a certain person, but you can have different customer segments as well. So one of her customer segments is the Melbourne area because that's where her book takes place. Of course, anybody in other states and countries will love her book as well, but you got to pinpoint the different segments within your reader group. Education level might matter, might not. Occupation as well. If your book is about, somebody in the nursing, it's a nurse, maybe it'll appeal to some people in the nursing industry, for example. Reader preferences, what are their favorite genres of this reader that you're writing for, or that the book would be good for. Preferred book formats. The younger generation now, they don't read, they just listen to audiobooks. It's happening more and more. So if your book is geared towards a younger generation, the audiobook is going to be important. Frequency of reading. Some people, my mother reads like 2 or 3 books a week. It just really depends. You got to think about who your reader is, how often do they read. Reasons for reading, is it entertainment, education, escapism, etc.? And you might know all these answers, or there might be some questions you never thought about. But going through all these questions and thinking about it and writing it down really helps you get a closer relationship with your reader, which will then help you brand and market your book. Some of these questions might not matter to some of you. It really depends on your individual books. Where do they typically purchase the books? How often do they buy? Factors influencing their books, budget, media consumption, etc. There's a whole bunch here that you can go through. And I'll share this with Dan and he can put it up on the website. Let's see if we can get back over to here.
There you go.
Okay, good. Okay, so we talked about the targeted marketing. The more you know your audience, the more you can target specifically to them. I'm going to use her as an example again. I know I learned about a few of your books, but her book was on fostering and adoption. There's a lot of groups on Facebook that have adopted or have fostered who she could target them on social media online. You could target your search for teens, right? Preteen teens. We'll find out where they're not going to be on Facebook. So you got to figure out too which social media resonates with your age group. And so, yeah, TikTok is where most of the kids are. And Facebook is more for like 45 and up, 40 and up age group. Content relevance. Yeah, so once you know who your audience is, you'll know, if your content in your book is going to be valuable to them. And then effective communication. When you know your audience, you can use the right language and imagery for that specific reader so that the message really speaks to their needs, their desires. And when you're marketing too, you want to make this connection with your reader where they will feel like you understand them, right? Like if I read something and I'm like, oh, that writer gets me, so I feel that connection, right? I want to feel like you, the writer, understands me, the reader, rather than vice versa, right? All right, let's continue. So defining your book's unique selling proposition. I do have a handout for this as well. Your unique selling proposition, this is really basically what sets you apart of all the other books in your category, your genre. Positioning it correctly in the market. Let me pull up that handout. So again, there's going to be, here it is. Okay, good. So feature analysis, you need to list the key features of your book. So think about any plot twists or unique settings, diverse characters or unconventional narrative structures, and then identify which differentiate your book. So you would just make like a bullet list of these things from your book. Benefit identification, consider the benefits that the readers are going to gain. Is it entertainment? Is it emotional resonance? Are they learning something? Is it a personal growth? And then value proposition exploration. Elements such as originality, depth of insight, relevance to current events, and then gathering feedback from beta readers. Give your book away for free or provide an e-version, and then have them give you feedback. How does this book compare to other books you've read in the same genre? And get some feedback from beta readers. That will help you a lot in marketing your book. They could say, oh, well, I liked it because, or what stuck out to them, and then you could use those comments in your marketing. Okay, next is crafting compelling elements. And this is where I'm going to demonstrate how ChatGPT could really help you in this. You've written a book and now you need to come up with a good title. Maybe you need to come up with a good cover design. If you don't have a good cover design, your book's not going to sell, because that really needs to grab their attention. You might have a tagline if it's a nonfiction book, for example, and then your author branding. So let's look at a book title. So your book title is the first impression. You really want to grab the audience's attention with the title. So let's see how many of you use AI to help with things like book titles? Okay. So let's look and see what we can do. So I'm going to need a volunteer that tells me a little bit about their book, and then I'm going to ask Chat to come up with some sample titles. Yes?
I need a title.
Okay, you need a title. What's your book about?
It's about a little boy who's very greedy, but only at Christmas. Okay? Okay, but there's a story but I thought he used to tell the story. But my working title was Raven was almost always a very good boy, or almost always a good boy.
Mm-hmm.
That's the working title, because most of the time he's a good boy.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else you can tell me about the book? The more information you give chat, the better outcomes it's going to give you. I mean, I could get some titles from this, but if I give it more information, it'll be even better.
He was on Santa's nice list most of the year because he did good things. But he tried to figure out how he could get more toys, so he cut the toe off of his stocking when he hung it up and thought that he would get more toys because the toys would fall on the floor behind the stove, and then the coal scuttle. And
I don't know how to spell mischievous.
Santa put his bag right under the hole in the stocking, and so all the toys went back into Santa's bag. It's a story my father told us every year at Christmas to tell us not to be greedy. And I just thought about it one night when I was talking to somebody, and I sat down, and 2 hours later had the story. So, but I have no idea what to title it.
All right, so I put part of what you said. It was just too much. I couldn't type that fast. But but I just asked it to give me 10 titles for this book. And as you know, it can translate or do the the audio book in 2 seconds. It does this in 2 seconds too.
Oh, wow.
So The Greedy Christmas Elf, Santa's List, The Tale of a Greedy Boy, The Christmas Greed Chronicles, Tinsel Trouble, A Greedy Christmas Story, Merry Mischief, The Greedy Boy's Christmas Quest, The Naughty and Nice Christmas Greed, A Stocking Full of Greed, A Holiday Adventures of a Mischievous Boy, Greed and Gifts, The Christmas Candy Caper, A Greedy Boy's Adventure, Ho Ho Hold Up, The Greedy Boy Who Stole Christmas. So now if she, let's say that I think everybody liked number 10 more than anything. So I can ask chat to give me more similar to number 10.
I just like that one though. Because it's not weird.
Okay, well that's what the audience liked. What do you like most?
I couldn't see it from there.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah, I liked Tinsel Trouble too.
Actually, I'm not crazy about any of them really.
Okay.
Because the main story is not about his greed, it's about how good he is, but he has this one greedy moment.
Right, okay. Well, I just needed to give it more, yeah.
But the whole thing that happens with the one greedy moment is it changes his life, and he's never greedy again.
Okay. Well, we're just going to go with this because my goal is just to show you what it can do. But you can go back in and tell it all that, and it'll give you titles similar. Yeah. So now I'm going to say, give me 10 more titles similar to number what? Number 10. Greedmas, Hijinks, The Boy Who Robbed Santa. The Greedy Grinch, A Christmas Caper, The Christmas Conundrum, Naughty or Greedy, The Christmas Dilemma. Oh.
You're using that word greedy.
Yeah, it's got greed all throughout, right? And then I can say, give me 10 more without the word.
The basic thing is he's almost always a good boy.
So now it's going to do it without using the word greed.
It was a moment.
And he thought about it, he wants words in the title. He just wanted 2 words in the title, it would do that.
Yep, you could say, give me 10 titles using only 3 words. Now it says 3 words. And then so you take this, and then it just gets your brain going. It's like having a personal assistant, like your assistant writer, that you can bounce ideas off of. And then you can, but ChatGPT is just way more intelligent than any personal assistant I could hire. And so it just gives you ideas. I use it to help when I'm writing. I use it, for example, I do a lot of speeches. I'll write my speech, and sometimes I get stuck on the ending, and I'll say, give me a good conclusion. I'll just paste my whole speech into here. The website is chat.openai.com. chat.openai.com. And this is the free version. This is a free website. The information that it gives you is good from, I think, January 2022. So anything new online since January 2022, you're not going to get on this free version. You can pay less than $20 a month for Chat 4.0, and it is up to date. And you can do a lot more things with it. It's mind-blowing what it can do. Yes?
You were saying back before we got onto this in the marketing area, you mentioned an unconventional narrative structure. I'm just trying to figure out what that would be.
An unconventional.
I mean, for marketing and time, you had a.
Oh. I'm not sure. An unconventional.
Narrative structure.
Well, it's like Slaughterhouse-Five. He jumped in between time frames every day.
Okay, yeah, that would be it. I don't remember saying that, but maybe I did. But he just gave a good example. But well, let's stay on this topic, and then we'll go back to that. I'm sorry. I'll try to find where I said that in my speech, and we'll figure that out because I'm in a different place now. Any more questions about using this to help with your titles? Yes.
What's the website you were currently using?
It's chat.openai.com. You have to give your I think your birthday, your name, and your email address, and that sets up an account.
Sondee, one more question about
Yeah.
the title, and this could pertain to other things as well. That was real helpful in generating ideas, and then you had a group response to number 10. When you are sitting by your lonesome doing this, whether it's a book title or something else, how do you get a feel for the group response when you're by yourself?
Well, you could ask chat. For example, I could say, in the back, whose book we're playing with, I know this isn't exactly what your book is about, but what's the age range for your book?
Young child, I'd say 5 and under, maybe 5 to, no, maybe older than that, maybe up to 9. 5 to 9.
Yes, I would say K to 6.
Yeah, maybe 6, maybe. Yeah.
So you could ask it to gear it towards that age group.
Oh, gee.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for showing us. I just wanted
Yeah.
to, I've never used AI, and I wanted to see what.
Yeah, and it will, as you've seen, it will change the language, it'll change the vocabulary, it'll bring the vocabulary down to a lower level.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you could even, like I've written speeches, and I'll ask it, you know, could you rewrite at an 8th grade reading level? And it'll rewrite the speech, because sometimes when I write, sometimes it's at a higher level than my audience is going to be, and then I'll just bring the vocabulary down. Yes?
If you are going to upload your manuscript on Amazon and it's asking you, have you used AI, don't you have to be honest and say you used it for the title?
I wouldn't. No, because this is just like Google. It's like Google on steroids. You know, you can ask Google these same questions, and you'll get websites that will help you find that information. This is all original. It's not grabbing this from anywhere and plagiarizing it. It is all original. I think if you write your book using AI, because some people are writing their books with AI, like write a book about, and you could say write a story about a boy who was really good, but at Christmas time, here, I'm just going to blow you guys away right now. I'm going to ask it to do it. Write a story about.
While you're doing that, can I just, about how you get feedback? Oh, hey. I actually put it in my newsletter and then put it on social, here's the title I'm working with, what do you think? And people just responded. And so, just ask. You can ask here, and we'll all laugh or not, you know? Absolutely. Yeah, like
Oh, and his name is Tommy. I could have told it what the name is, but all I said was write a story about a boy who was very well behaved, but did a lot of naughty things at Christmas time to get more toys. As Christmas approached, a mischievous twinkle sparked in Tommy's eyes. While he was an angel for the rest of the year, Christmas seemed to bring out a different side of him. He couldn't resist the allure of the brightly wrapped presents under the tree and the promise of new toys. His antics began innocently enough. Anyway, so people are using this is an original story. This is not plagiarized. So I think that's why they're asking, is this AI generated, to see is it really that person, right? Because writers, not everybody can write, but now everybody can write using AI, right? Yeah, and then I could even say, I could even ask it to rewrite this as Hemingway, and it'll use Hemingway's writing style.
Dr. Seuss. Do Dr. Seuss.
there you go, you get a paragraph.
Yeah, that's as far as I got.
So if somebody else putting in the same information would get the same story?
No. So she just asked if somebody else went home and got on chat and put the same thing in, would they get the same story? No, they'll get a completely different story.
Wow.
Yeah. And I could even ask it to regenerate, a second time. And then if you want, you just, on each of these, there's a clipboard, and you just click on it, copy, and you can paste it into Word, and then change the writing, make it sound like you. Or I honestly, because I'm a writer, I just use it for ideas. I would take what he wrote and then use it ideas in my writing. But not everybody is like that. But I want to sound like me. All right. So that's title. So we can use chat to help us with titles. The book cover design. The book cover design, you need to attract your reader's attention. And I might just keep chat up because I think we're going to use it again. There's an AI program called Midjourney. And Midjourney does create, just like we created words and ideas, Midjourney creates pictures. A gentleman over here, I think it was you, did you use Midjourney?
Yeah.
So he used Midjourney to create the illustrations in his book. I don't have Midjourney, you have to pay for it. It's not that expensive though, isn't it, right?
Bing has $15 a month or something.
Bing has illustration as well? Okay.
The
So-
paid version of ChatGPT will now do images as well.
Oh, okay. So yeah, he just said the 4.0 ChatGPT that you have to pay for does images. And how that works is you just describe the image you want. I could say, create an elephant on a surfboard eating a strawberry. And it will create an elephant on a surfboard eating, and it'll be a photograph. It'll look really realistic. Yes?
Could you then ask it to, I want bigger eyes, I think it'll do those kind of things?
Yes, it will. I don't know if it's been fixed because I don't use it, but I have a lot of clients that use it, that sometimes Midjourney will give a person like another leg or something, or another foot, or like more than 5 fingers. So you got to be careful. It's not perfected yet, but it's in the beginning stages. Yes.
Just yesterday, OpenAI released a demo. They now are doing text to video, and it's incredible.
Oh, interesting.
If you go to their homepage, they have
Okay. Okay, cool. So he just said that OpenAI is now getting into text to video. So an example would be, I could say, create a short 30-second video promoting this story on Facebook, for example. So it's going to describe the video. It's going to give me the script, and it's going to tell me the scene. It's just going to give me ideas of how to make this video for my online marketing. So the video opens, gentle piano, the text, experience the magic of Christmas. And so it just describes it. But what he's saying is that now not only does it describe the video, but it'll actually create the video for you using text.
If you want
So,
to see an example of that, after you're open.ai.com, you put /Sora, S-O-R-A.
S-O what?
S-O-R-A.
open, wait. S-O-R-A?
Yeah, S-O-R-A.
Oh, I think you need the paid version, maybe.
No,
It's not chat, it's just OpenAI.
Oh, okay. Creating video from text. You could do a book trailer using this AI. Yeah.
You can't type in there, but they'll show you an example.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Like that whole thing in the background is an example.
How can I show an example to everybody? Scroll down.
Like, so this one, they have the prompt to the bottom left. It says, a young woman walking through a city street.
Okay.
In a goth sort of.
All right, so here's an example. So the prompt that they put in the text was, create a video of a stylish woman walking down a Tokyo street filled with warm, glowing neon and animated city signage. She's wearing a black leather jacket, red long dress. You can even describe what the person's wearing. She wears sunglasses and red lipstick. She's walking confidently and casually. You could have said she's walking insecurely, and she'd be walking like this, probably instead of like this. The street is damp and reflective. And so this is what it came up with just that prompt.
Oh, wow, she's nice.
So she looks pretty real, not 100%, but.
Wow.
And this woman that they created doesn't exist. It's computer generated person.
So do they add sound to that also?
No sound, just video. I would think what you would do is play some music and then maybe put text or some voiceover. You could do a voiceover the video.
It's not available yet.
Yeah, so this is not available yet according to him. It's coming out.
They select people, but it's probably just a couple months.
It's in beta probably now, yeah. So the thing with AI and technology, it's changing like this. Like I work with AI, I teach it to my clients, and I coach them with it because we use it as we're trying to, grow and market their businesses. But I didn't know about this yet.
It just came out yesterday.
Oh, okay, well, yeah. Yes.
If you have, let's say, a series of books or a series of pages where you want one character but doing different activities and so on, how do you take that same image from the first one and have them do different things?
You can use the same character in several and continue it in other pictures and other videos.
How do you word that then?
I don't know how to do it because I haven't worked with the images yet. I just have clients who have. But I have a client who would be more than happy to tell you how to do it. I could connect you.
And there's a few more examples.
This guy here, I don't know his name, but he probably knows how to do it. All right.
And if you scroll down, there's just a few more examples.
Oh, okay.
And this is a village shot in a certain time period.
Okay. This is very cool.
This is a camera following.
Okay. All right, so everybody should write down openai.com/SORA, and that's the text to video, which will help you market your book using video. It's openai.com/SORA. Microsoft.com/SORA. And the other one was chat.openai.com.
And the image generator one for book covers would be like Microsoft Copilot.
Okay, so do you just Google that?
Yeah, it'll
Okay.
bring you to a Google, and you have to have either a Google account or a Microsoft account to do it.
Okay, so if you Google Microsoft Copilot, that will help you create book covers. It's AI for book covers. And that's Microsoft Copilot. So just Google that.
Those you have to declare as being AI used.
Yeah. Yeah, the rules of when AI asks you if it's AI generated, I don't know the rules. You know, coming up with the title, I can't imagine you would have to declare that you used it to help you come up with your title. You know, it's just something to brainstorm with.
When they ask you to how much AI did you use?
Okay, what percentage?
Well, ask if you used images or for the text, and if it was text, was it just for editing or was it for writing?
So is it possible, since you have to declare it as uses, is it possible for them to come up with the idea for you and then you take that idea and modify it, make it a little different now than the original?
Yeah.
I would think so. Yeah. It's just a tool. You're using it as a tool. You're not using it to do your work. So just like you use the internet and Google as a tool, or websites or resources or phone a friend, it's just another tool. But if you overuse it, yeah, I think you would have to declare, I did. All right, well, we'll keep going. On your author branding, now we talked about branding the book. And then to brand the book, you really need to know who your reader is and answer all those questions. And then you also want you as an author to have a branding as well, not just your book, but you, because you want to have a consistent image throughout all of your marketing, like your social media, your website, your blog, your whatnot. And thinking about that, your bio, your logo, your color palette, you want to use that same color palette on your social media as you would on your website, for example. On the tone of voice that you use, you want to keep the tone consistent as well. I think some of you, though, probably write in different genres, right? Yeah. So that would be more difficult, right? You can't be consistent if you're in different genres, but I would think that your branding in this genre would all be the same as your brand, and then that would be a different branding in a different genre.
Unless you use a pseudonym.
Right, unless you use a pseudonym. Right, that's true.
How about your tagline? Did you leave that out?
A tagline I would use for nonfiction, right? So you have the title and then you have your tag. Taglines are really good for if you want to be known as a nonfiction writer. Let's say that I became a writer on business coaching, right? And so I would name my company something, and then I'd have a tagline, business, easy, I don't know, something with business, easily understood business practices or something. I don't know. I can't think. I'd have to ask Chat. Yeah. Let me ask Chat what a good tagline would be for a business coach. So yeah, taglines are good, I think, for nonfiction. Yeah. Okay, let's go to some of the marketing strategies. And I'm going to ask a lot of you for some feedback here, because a lot of you have books out. You're obviously very successful. Some of you have 30 books out. You're doing something right. And, marketing changes every year, it seems, or even sooner because of technology. I owned my own business 15 years ago before social media was really a thing. So I had to market old school. And now you can't even imagine marketing without social media. And people who weren't alive or didn't know marketing before social media, they're like, how did you market without social media? Well, we did, right? So some of you, I think, have been writing books and have went from marketing the old-fashioned way to using and leveraging social media for your marketing. So social media marketing is one way to market your books. You can do it with Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, and again, be careful which one you choose to market on because they're not all for the same reader. And you could ask ChatGPT, I have a book about this little boy, which social media platform should I use? And it's going to go through the internet and give you what it thinks. Of course, anything online, you can't guarantee it's correct or 100%, but it'll give you a good idea. Does anyone want to add to social media? Who is marketing on social media and what has worked for you? Yes.
Well, I use 3 accounts. I use X, well, former Twitter. I use Facebook and I use Instagram because obviously Facebook owns Instagram. And the nice thing about posting on Facebook is that you can, if you don't use you have to have a business account first of all. Let me back up, and you need to have your business account. Which I have Joanne's books on I have 2 Facebooks. One is my personal one, the other one is the business book. So with that one, you have access to Meta, the Meta Center, and so that you can do your scheduled posts and all that. So what I do is on Sunday afternoons, I'll sit on my computer for a couple hours, and I'll post all my memes and all my social media posts, and I'll do them on Facebook and Instagram, which you can do them together, even at the same. You can pick your times. You can do it. And then I do them on X. Now X.
Wait, hold on. Before you continue, just for everybody so they know, she will create all of her social media posts on one day, and then she schedules them out. Correct. She'll say, okay, on Tuesday at 5 o'clock, this post is going to go out. On Thursday, that's going to go out. And then if you post to Facebook, you can connect it to your Instagram so it posts to both automatically. Correct. Right, go ahead.
What do you use to schedule?
It's called a weekly. It's called a planner. It's like on the side. It looks like a little calendar.
Part of X?
Yeah, no, she's talking about Facebook. It's part of Meta.
It's Meta Business Services. Facebook Meta. You got to go to your business account. You got to go to Meta, and there's like a little calendar, and then it gives you all the times that you can post. Like I did all like Valentine's. I did Groundhog Day. I have 3 posts for everything. I have even the verbiage ready. All I do is copy paste. That's all I do.
And if anybody needs help knowing how to do that, you can contact me and I'll show you. Anyway, go ahead. And you were going to talk about X.
And also X. Now X, they used to have a Twitter deck, Twitter deck, right? It's called TweetDeck. Sorry. TweetDeck. It's called TweetDeck. So with TweetDeck, you could have scheduled all your posts, and it was going to tell you when. Now with X, TweetDeck's gone. And there is like a kind of a TweetDeck for X, but you got to pay for it. And they want like $15 a month, and I'm like, no. So here's what I do. I have my planner. So I basically take my verbiage and my meme that's already ready to go. I post it, and then I mark on my planner when I posted it, because once you post it on Twitter as a scheduled post, it disappears. You can't see it anymore. You can't control when it's, so I have to write it down. That's the only downside of, because I don't want to pay. Why should I pay?
So can you give everybody an example of one of your Facebook posts?
One of my Facebook posts?
Yeah, what are you posting?
So on the 14th, I posted a whole bunch of, Valentines, and sometimes I'll feature one of my covers of one of my books, or a series of, like I have like my Christmas ends, which, Valentine's, I'll say something like Valentine's Italian style or something like that. And then I just have a verbiage with a bunch of hashtags. Not too many. I keep them under 10. That's just me personally. I feel like there's too many of them, and that they're going to go all over the place. And I kind of target. So I use, like, for example, love to read. These are the hashtags. So I have my own hashtag Joanne's Books. I have hashtag love to read. I have hashtag books make great gifts. you know, like all in one. There's so many.
ChatGPT can help you come up with hashtags too, by the way.
Yeah, I'm sure. And I did get that help, by the way. I did kind of go to AI and say, I need some help with hashtags for readers.
Mm-hmm.
There's readers of Instagram, there's all sorts of hashtags.
Right.
Do you do any paid posts, or is this all just from your account?
Now, the paid posts are ads for Facebook. I will do them, but rarely. I don't know, I just feel like sometimes it depends on if I have some money to blow, I'll do it.
So on Facebook, he's talking about Facebook ads. You can create a post, and then you can choose the demographics to where you want who you want this post to, who you want to see the post. So if she's doing her post on, well, they're not going to be on Facebook, but if. Yeah, that's true. The parents, right? So she could say she could schedule her post, and then she could say, okay, I want to spend $10 on boosting this post, and I'm going to choose my demographics. I want them to live in which area do they live in within like a 10-mile radius, or you could say a larger radius. You could choose women. You could choose. I mean, there's a whole list of ages, everything so that you can really narrow down who is going to see that post. So you're not paying for people to see it that wouldn't be interested in your book. Yeah. And you could post for as little as $10 and as much as you want, and it'll tell you how many people it's going to reach.
Yep.
Mhm. Yeah.
I did what is called a book club feature deal, and you have to apply for it. But the American book club feature deal was way out of my budget. That was like $850. But the international feature deal, which included Canada, the United Kingdom, and Australia, for my genre, which was, fantasy, was about $150. So I thought, okay, I'll try that. And I hit #1 in all 3 Amazon, #1 bestseller for like 2 weeks.
Wow.
So, and the book that I have featured, that was fantastic. So I would say that was really worth my investment.
What's it called again? So everyone can write it down.
That was in December that I did that, so I'm still not really seeing the reviews yet, or whatever. But that was
So you paid $150. Where? What's it called?
It's called Book Club is the social media, and it's of course for books. And so you apply for the feature deal. When do you want to run it? Like what? And like, what book do you want? What's your genre? How long are you going to run it for? And then they do it for like 24 hours.
Okay.
And bam, you hit. Well, I did it 2 different times, and I hit #1 2 different times.
Wow.
Okay,
we send
great.
emails out with a feature, just your book or a handful of books in the email. So if you are on Book Club and there's millions of readers.
Can you spell that?
BookBub, BOOKBUB.
Yeah.
But it's really
BookBub.
hard. They only accept something like less than 20% of the people who apply. I applied recently and get in.
Okay.
So they say after
So you
30
have
days
to be
you might get-
accepted.
Yeah,
Okay.
it has to be like a 99-cent.
Yes.
What was that?
You have to be promoting usually digital, but only digital or audio, I think. And the digital books have to be like $1.99, 99 cents, because they want
Okay.
deals.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it's a.
Yeah, I had to ask my publishing company, okay, I got approved for a book club feature deal, so I need it to be 99 cents for these 2 weeks. And so my publisher changed the price for me so I could do that.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes it's good to lower the price to get your book out there so people read it, and then they're going to tell somebody, and they're going to tell somebody, and right.
every day and stuff on my phone, and I always buy the ones that are free. I mean, because I told them what genres I wanted, and they send me only those genres, only books in those genres. And if it's free on Amazon, I'll buy it, and I'll read it.
And don't forget, just because they're free on Amazon doesn't mean that you're not going to get your royalties. You will get your royalties.
Right.
Because people pay to KDP, what's it called, the KDP?
Kindle Unlimited.
Kindle Unlimited, right. So people pay into that.
Yes.
So when they download a book from you, if it's free, don't worry, you get your royalties. Okay?
I don't know why I'm back here. I forgot. Okay.
Matt, she has a question.
Yes.
I was just going to make a comment. My husband published a poetry book years ago, but long story short, I use Facebook groups. I don't know if you can still do this because Facebook algorithm has changed, but we used to be able to go onto a group, join the group, and then put your information in that group page. So I would find groups that so the message along with his book.
Mm-hmm.
Put it there on the group page and I'll get views and comments.
Mhm.
And also in my regular email, Gmail, I have like a list of emails that I can post into without sending a blind to the feed, so they can't really see each
Right.
other. And I'll send information out on book readings or poetry readings, stuff like that.
Right, that's great. An email marketing list. If you can put something in your book that has a reason to go to your website and give their email to you, so that you can then have them on your marketing email. And it could be, if you go to my website or if you go to this website, you will get a free something. You got to give them an incentive to give your email out. It could be as little as, it could be you reading from the book, a certain chapter or page or something, or it could be the behind the scenes or more information about a certain character. Or I'm sure you come up with a lot of ideas. Yes.
Newsletters. I have several.
Newsletter. Sign up for my newsletter.
I get TJ's newsletter.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because I
Yeah.
accept, I get a newsletter, and there's another one that they give me, like an extra behind the scenes look at
Yeah.
one of the characters.
And you can ask chat for some ideas too.
The other character's point of view, something like that.
Yeah. What would be some good ideas for giveaways for this? And then chat will give you a list of ideas of what you could give away if they give you their email address. So email marketing is great. That's on there as well. Book launch events are always great. You could do a virtual book launch as well as an in-person book launch, leading up to it. Can anyone give me some ideas as to what they did for their book launch events? Anyone do a virtual launch, in person? Nobody did any. It's just the book came out and that was it. You just said, my book came out. What?
They announced it at the guild meeting.
Right, that was your launch. Yes.
Some promo companies that I have found online. NN Lights Book Heaven is a really good one, and they have packages. You can look and see, okay, do I want package A, B, C, D, whatever, and they will target. They'll do a cover reveal. They'll do like a trailer reveal. They'll do a book launch. They'll blitz Facebook, Twitter, at intervals so that it doesn't affect their algorithms and all. But NN Lights Book Heaven, and you tell them Jennifer Walker referred them because I'm very good.
How do you spell lights? Like L-I-G-H-T?
L-I-G, yeah. It's NN is for the first two letters of the husband and wife team.
Okay.
NN Lights.
Like Nancy, NN? Okay.
Apostrophe S. Book Heaven.
Okay.
And they have, social media. They started about 5-6 years ago, and they're great and affordable.
And affordable? Okay.
They do all sorts of marketing for you. They have about 10 different platforms, or group. What am I trying to say? Here's package deal A. For that, you get this, this, and this, and this. And depending on how much money you spend, you can get more stuff. Some of them are as low as $13 and you get this. Wow. And some are as much as, for $100 you get this. So they're affordable. I use them for everything.
Do they do nonfiction?
Mm-hmm. Yep, they do all genres too. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yep. Jennifer Ivy Walker.
So for your book launch, I suggest you making it exciting. Don't just have it come out, but do some type of book launch virtual party where it's like meet the author, Q&A, maybe you read a few excerpts from the book. You could do a book launch maybe with a local bookstore where it's in person. Or you could ask chat, I have this book I'm launching, give me some ideas on how, what events I can do to promote my launch. And chat will give you a bunch of ideas. Yes.
So the last book I wrote takes place in Melbourne, Dying to Win. So I live in a small condo community, 40 units. And I thought, what the hell? So I just decided I posted the thing that I'm going to have a book launch there. Got some wine and cheese, and I said, if 4 people show up. And, there were 20 people, and I sold 2 some books. Wow. And then they bought other books.
There you go.
It was nothing, but it worked. We all got thrown.
I was told the Renaissance Fair for all 5 weekends, and I got a tent and a table, and I decorated it, and I dressed up with fairy wings and elf ears. Yeah, I sold like $300 per day of my books. Of course, I had to buy them first, so I didn't make very much profit. But I figured, hey,
You're getting it out there, right?
You know.
So I just asked chat to give me 5 ideas for advertising the launching of the book. So it just gave me 5 ideas real quick. A social media campaign, collaborate with parenting bloggers and influencers, virtual book launch event, interactive storytelling, Q&A, meet and greets, holiday book bundles, local bookstore signings. Yeah, I could ask it for 5 more, or I could ask it, for example, let me show you this. So number 5, local bookstore signings and readings. Let's say I want to contact all the bookstores and send them an email asking them if they would be interested in letting me do a book signing and launch. And I could have chat write the email for me. So I could say, write an email to the local bookstores requesting permission to hold a book signing. So the subject is requests for permission to hold book signing. I hope this email finds you well. I'm the author of the children's book titled Blank. I'm reaching out to inquire about hosting a book signing event. I believe that book signing would be a wonderful opportunity to connect with local community. Here are some details, etc. So it writes it for you. You would take this, copy, paste it into your Gmail account or whatever, and then make it sound like you. But it's giving you the template to start with, and then I wouldn't start mine with, I hope this email finds you well. I would take that out. So you're just going to use it as an example to go from. But it can write any email to anyone for any reason. I use chat all the time in my personal life too. If I need to send an email for some reason, or I use it when I'm cooking. I only have chicken, broccoli, and a can of, mushroom soup. Give me a recipe. And it will give me a recipe using chicken, broccoli, and mushroom soup. And I can tell it, but do not, a recipe without garlic, because I can't eat garlic, whatever. You can tell it without or with, and it'll just make it. And I use it all the time in the kitchen, yes.
The paid version, GPT-4, you can take a picture of the contents of your refrigerator and say, what can I make with what I have? And it will come up with recipes.
Wow. So did you hear that? You can take a picture of the inside of your fridge and say, create a recipe for using this food. No, it's crazy what AI can do now. Yeah. Okay, we're almost out of time, so I'm just going to wrap up. I just want to cover a few more things. So for content marketing, one idea that you could do for your post is you could take some quotes out of your book, right? And then just put the quote there, and so that would grab people's attention. Maybe a good quote that you've got. I'm sure you've got many in your books, so that would be a good content marketing piece to put in there as well. If it's a nonfiction book, then you would take some good information that you're sharing and put that in as a post. And I think we're almost done. Was that the end? Yes. Oh, engaging with your audience. A lot of you, I think, are already doing this through social media. You're building relationships, fostering loyalty, creating community, gathering feedback from your readers, and encouraging word-of-mouth marketing. A lot of your readers, they might not think to tell people about the book unless you ask them, could you please share this? Or could you please, if you ask them, they will do it. Most of them will. But, on my Facebook, I know a lot of businesses, obviously I'm a business coach, but I don't think to promote everybody. But if one of my clients says, would you share this on your Facebook page? I'm like, sure. And then I'll put it on my Facebook page. But I don't always think to do that for everybody. So sometimes you just got to ask and they will do it. Okay, I think that's about all we have time for. Yes?
Can I just ask about you specifically?
Oh, yeah, hold on. That reminds me. Let me just finish. Let me put this. So this is the organization I'm with, weVenture. Here is the website. On there we have all of our events. If you want free business coaching, go to the website and click on new client registration or new client request. There's my email and there's the phone number to the office. I do have some business cards on me. I forgot to bring a lot, but I can give away a few that I have. But we'd be more than happy to help you. Okay, more questions? Yes.
With this AI fee, how do you use it for your book cover again?
For your book, he gave me a website. It was Microsoft Copilot. Would help you with your cover. Yes.
So you have to pay for it. It's a Google account. Do you do things like helping us grow our social?
Yes. If you want help, I shared a question about getting help growing your social media marketing. You could become a client and we can help you with that. We can help you come up with ideas on how to grow your social media. Yeah.
An email list too?
And your email list, yes. Yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.